Welcome back, everyone. We continue to track the crisis in Ukraine as President Biden says it appears Russian soldiers are intentionally targeting civilians as they advance towards the capital of Kyiv. The UN voted to condemn Russia, telling the Kremlin to take its troops out of Ukraine. But there's no sign of that happening despite increasing sanctions and the promise of talks between Russia and Ukraine.
The United Nations says hundreds of thousands of people have gotten out of Ukraine trying to protect themselves and their families. This is the biggest refugee situation we've seen in Europe in decades. It's prompting a response here in the Tri-Cities. Yesterday afternoon, people rallied for Ukraine at John Dam Plaza in Richland. Photojournalist Margo Cady spoke with some of her extended family members about their experiences watching this situation unfold and how they're hoping to help.
I was born in Russia, in Moscow. We came as refugees in 2005. I have a friend who is going against the regime, the government that's in Russia. He's fine. I have not heard from him for a little bit, but I'm hoping to hear something.
I was born in the Ukraine. We came as refugees. Yeah, I have cousins in Ukraine right now living. They're a little bit further from Kyiv. So they were hit on the first day, on Thursday, when Russia kind of deployed rockets to the major cities. They're doing okay. A lot of people are escaping Ukraine right now to go to Poland, Moldova, or Romania to try to find some shelter. And because the fear is that Ukraine is outmatched.
For regular people, regular Russian people who are not into politics, regular Ukrainian people, we are like brothers and sisters. We don't necessarily see, oh, this is them and this is us, you know. But the politics, the regime, the power struggle makes it look like, makes people, regular citizens, look really bad. It's important to not to see a certain group of people as a whole. For example, the Russian people, they are not bad people. It's the government, it's the regime. And I think it's very important to keep that in perspective, not to develop any racism against any nation.
We want to help the refugees, and we're refugees ourselves, so I know kind of how that is, but I also know how broken people can become when they grow up in a very dramatic and traumas that they develop. And so that's what we're doing. And so we set up a fund. We have a nonprofit. We have people that are working there. We're working with about 4 or 5 organizations that are on the ground, that are hosting people both in Poland and in Ukraine, especially the orphans. And then hopefully, maybe within a week, we actually will go there to the border. These are our people. We grew up there, even though I lived here longer than I lived in there. But I think that this hits home.
Now, as you just heard there, they are planning to head over to Ukraine coming up in the next few days. Now, World News Tonight is going to be continuing coverage of the refugee crisis coming up right after our show.